Hello everyone! So I wanted to make a video showing you all Malphas, the first boss in Super Space Galaxy. I've got a force tool here that can do things for me. So I'll explain how I've designed Malphas, because I think I'm pretty pleased with how I put Malphas together and the way I designed him step by step. So the first thing is, you have this fireball. Big fireball that just kind of shoots out towards you. It's kind of big and intimidating, but at the same time it's easy to dodge. And you've got to think in terms of incentives. So Malphas will turn around, and if he's looking at you, he shoots the fireball. So that just... let me pause this for a second. So yeah, so the fireball incentivizes you to move around Malphas, and then when he gets into this phase, he shoots out these starry projectile things. And that gives an opposite incentive. So you've got kind of this clash of incentives where one thing is telling you to move around him, and the other attack is telling you to, like, be careful where you move, and the attacks contrast very nicely. So you've got one that's kind of targeted towards you, and another one that's just kind of mindlessly spamming out projectiles in all directions. So that was how I decided to do this. I wanted to have clashing incentives. I was inspired a bit by some things they wrote about Diablo 3 years ago. But, yeah, so that is the main basis of the design of Malphas. Let's keep on shooting him a bit here. So I also put a certain amount of work into the health bar. Yeah, so the other attack is these wing shots here. I just thought it would look cool if shots came out of Malphas's wings. That's one thing. But the other thing is the wing shots here encourage you to stay near Malphas's mouth. So now you've got kind of sometimes, and then sometimes you have to stay near his mouth, and then other times he'll be in fireballs mode and you've got to stay away from his mouth. So there's kind of this little fun moment when he's doing the wing shots. And then he switches to fireball mode, and you're like, oh crap, I better get away from his mouth now. And so you end up kind of doing this dance where you're responding to different incentives as they keep changing. And now I've damaged him down to, what, 2/3 health. He's got 3 phases, but lots of bosses have 3 phases. I think a lot of Mario bosses have 3 phases. And that does a couple of things. So his fireballs end up going faster, I think. Either that or they do more damage. Or no, I think they're just faster. They do no more damage, but they charge up faster, and they accelerate faster, and they move faster. So the whole process is accelerated. So now you've really got to kind of keep going to keep out the way of his fireballs. So this is something that's kind of important, I think. I've made him start nice and easy. So you start with this easy to dodge fireball. You're just kind of introduced to the very idea of him turning to face you. But in the second phase, you're quite likely to survive into the second phase, I think, and that avoids you just meeting the boss, getting mowed down instantly by something you didn't know about. It kind of gives you a chance to learn about his attacks first. So Malphas has actually been kind of fair. Like, this is not... It seems like he's trying to kill you, but he's also kind of being quite generous and merciful in a way. And yeah, and you can see that he's in a different phase. Everything looks a bit different. He's using purple projectiles now instead of, I think, the blue ones before. It's a purple glow. And also, he's got these green wind blade things. Let me try and show those a bit. Super slow-mo. Oh, man, that was close. I don't know if you were looking at that. Yeah, so the wind blades are quite sophisticated. I've got a whole system that kind of makes a text string, and I can define different wind blade attacks. Some of them involve them pointing towards you, some of them involve them just pointing the way Malphas is pointing. And they're not designed to be that tricky by themselves, but they're just designed to be a bit complicated and to mix things up with what would otherwise be like 2 incentives that you're kind of used to following. So they're just designed to make things a little bit more complicated on top. And finally, yeah, and you can also be behind him for the wing attack. That's another thing. And some of the time the wind blades will kind of distract you behind him. Here comes some, yeah, so anti-behind. Oh yeah, and also I made it so the wind blades will, they actually know what angle you are from him, so they'll kind of do something that's appropriate for what angle you're at. So that they're just designed to kind of force you to stay on your toes, that's the main thing. And I've designed this boss just step by step, honestly. I did make this up as I went along, but at the same time I was guided by these principles. We basically just, you've got to make the boss interesting, and you've got to add things kind of one by one that build on each other. So now we're in the final phase. Let me also grant myself a super weapon. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so if I have a super weapon here, Plasma Barrage. Ooh. So another thing I like about this escalating danger system is that if you actually save up your super weapon till the end, you kind of get more value out of it. You're basically avoiding more danger by using it late in the game like this. Which, yeah, so using your weapons late in the game like that kind of rewards you for delaying gratification. It means you've actually got a bit of strategy, and it could even be kind of a fun climax of like using your best weapons there at the end. And bada boom! And that is how I designed a boss. Do you have a game idea you've always wanted to make but don't know how to get started? My coaching is designed to help you finish your first game in ClickTeam Fusion 2.5. Click the link in the description to join my Discord server, and let's get you on the path to being the game developer you always wanted to be.